How's it guys, it's Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Thanks for joining this deadline with Dayvy Livestream. Apologies that I am a bit late. The reason for that, I don't know if in the countries you guys are around the world, if you have to pay for parking at the malls, but in SA we have to do that, and someone had not paid their ticket. So it took me literally 15 minutes to get out of the shopping center. I had lunch with family, so apologies for being late on this one. But we're going to kind of get back into the action, get into the swing of things. I would appreciate if you guys drop what I've missed in the comments down below. In terms of my own team, currently we have a full starting 11 except for David De Gea. So backline's fine, midfield's fine. Okay, Ollie Watkins. Okay, was the Burnley fixture now postponed? Oh, flip. Okay, so I don't have a full starting 11. I only have 9 players now, or 8 players. I don't know. Okay, let me just bring up chat, because I think I've missed it. Okay, so everyone's saying Villa's postponed, and the deadline is now at 4 p.m. So this is going to be a little bit of a weird deadline stream. Don't know if we should actually do a deadline stream now. Maybe we should wait a bit. I don't know what you guys think. Okay, so I honestly think that Villa Burnley was meant to be the first fixture, so that's been postponed. How many hours before? A couple of hours before. It's a little bit annoying, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Okay, push it back. Dayvy says Patrick Hall. So I think I'll push it back then. I appreciate you guys joining me. I don't really know what more to say. I guess we can talk for a little bit. We can talk for a little bit about what's happened. So is only Villa Burnley off, or it has other games also maybe been? Has there been speculation about other games tomorrow? Yeah, we can have a chat, as Light Trades are saying. We guys can have a chilled sesh here with the lads and the lasses before we head off. 1 million people just brought in Ollie Watkins. So how long ago was it postponed for? Because if it was postponed as I left for lunch, that was 3 hours ago, 2 hours ago, surely people would have given enough time. And we have said leave your transfers kind of as late as possible. Manasseh is 15 minutes ago. Okay, so it wasn't actually that long ago that it was postponed. Speculation about the Liverpool game is coming out. I think the Arsenal game was also under speculation because of Norwich. I honestly think, guys, we could have one fixture this week, and that's going to suck. Honestly. G-Rid saying, Tot Liverpool looks likely off, but not confirmed. All in the same boat there. So the Liverpool game is 100%. I mean, unless you own Spurs options, you probably don't. Everyone owns Jota, Salah, Trent, so that's not too much. But what it does kind of question is the vice captaincy. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put my vice captain on Cancelo, because I want to actually captain him. And this is basically what the deadline stream was going to be about. It was going to be me coming in here, trying to convince myself not to captain João Cancelo. And I was hoping that the fans of maybe Man City were going to tell me that, no, he was going to be benched. Or maybe you guys would tell me to just captain Mo Salah. But in terms of the other game now, I don't really know what more to kind of address. Royal saying, how's your day? Day was pretty chilled. Woke up at a relatively nice hour. As I said, just went for lunch with the fam, and then I was going to be back here because it's not always that we get this late deadline. And in SA, we're 2 hours behind the UK. So it was still going to be a little bit of a later kind of morning, early afternoon stream. So I was actually looking forward to it, but now it looks like it's going to be a late stream. What time's the deadline now going to be? So 7:30 my time, so 4:30 to 5:30. So when's the deadline going to be? The deadline will be 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock? Yeah, actually, I can just check. I don't know why I'm kind of questioning. Okay, so it's going to be 6 o'clock my time. So that's not too bad, but I don't know. I don't actually know what I'm going to do with that. Literally 15 minutes ago it was called off. So that's a little bit unfortunate there, but at least we got the news before a ridiculous hour. I'd rather have gotten the news before the deadline than after the deadline, but I guess that would have been quite hard to pull it off for. So let's think about transfers. I mean, to be honest, I was going to probably roll a transfer anyway. I was just going to leave De Gea and Foster in goal. not play with a goalkeeper. I just think there's no keeper that I want specifically for this week. And I was going to roll a transfer, but now we can't. So now I think what we might do, like right off the top of my head, what I'm thinking about doing is taking Ollie Watkins out for Lacazette. That's probably the most sensible transfer in my opinion. Because I don't have much value on Ollie Watkins, and he plays Chelsea up next. Maybe that game goes ahead, doesn't go ahead. Thanks for the 12 points, but you might only have been in my team for 1 week. What I will do though is after the stream, I'll go catch up on Twitter and then hopefully come a little bit more informed. I do apologize that I wasn't informed about the Aston Villa game. See you for the Norwich cancellation at 5:45. G-Rid saying, I mean, that game might be postponed as well. As I said when I got on here and saw that the Villa game was out, I think this game week might just be cancelled entirely. Yeah, I don't know. As they're not saying there, no, Watkins to Lacazette is a no-brainer now, right? I think it's a no-brainer, but I mean, that game could also be postponed. I think they play tonight, so I mean, that game could also be called off. I don't know how the situation is at Leeds. At Arsenal, I think the situation is fine, but at Leeds, it might be a little bit spicy. Last I heard was apparently they had like 9 players fit. So, I mean, it is what it is. 30 minutes left. Still time, says Edge. So, still time for the deadline, but now it's been pushed back. So, I mean, what's going to happen with that? Potential 2-week lockdown here in the UK, so all games could be off soon. I think that's probably the most sensible decision to make, is just kind of say, okay, these certain players have tested positive. Everyone's going to get a 10-week break. You kind of break that cycle. They go back into their bubbles that they were in last year, and then we just take it from there. But I honestly don't know. I think the December period offers a lot of money for the Prem. So, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. Is it really worth at the moment doing any transfers? Tyler, I understand what you're saying there, brother. It's a little bit of a tough spot to be in. So now someone's saying Leeds off. So if we get confirmed news that apparently Leeds is going to be off, what I will do though is I'll check Twitter as well. So we'll have kind of a chilled stream. I don't like to be antisocial like this, but I think there's too much news currently going around to not have this game. I mean, to not have news on the ready. So I'm not seeing anything about. I'm not seeing anything about potential other speculation, but there could be some. Oh goodness! So I've seen some people do transfers. That's a bit rough. Imagine you like did transfers and then like put your phone off for the rest of the day and then like spend time with family or something. And then you come back and the players you brought in, like if you brought in Watkins this week, that would be like terrible. Imagine that. There's probably someone in the chat that has done that. I do apologize if I'm addressing you in the chat and you don't want to hear it right now. Thanks Tom Nico for the tweet you tagged me in here about the postponement. Unfortunately, I'm not on Twitter all the time. So I mean, let's check if there's been anything else. Okay, so I don't see anything else. I mean, Cameron Walker saying my bro brought Watkins. And so if it's your brother, you tune him for the entire weekend about that one. You don't let him off the hook for that one. But it seems like a lot of people have said stuff here. So Aiden Lewis saying no posted news on Leeds Arsenal or Liverpool Spurs games going ahead. So right now, isn't it not saying why spend time with family, lol? I mean, the FPL family, you know, these 11 players, even though I only have about 10 at the moment, 9 at the moment, they my family, not the real people in real life. But in terms of transfers, as I've mentioned, the only transfer that I can see on paper right now is probably doing the Watkins move. Because if I take Douglas Luiz out, I have 6.9 million. And in the midfielder department, there's not many options around there. I mean, who's even playing at that bracket? Rafinha's playing against Arsenal, but I have Ben White, so I don't really want to do that. And how's Rafinha's fixtures? They don't look the best. So, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, there's no one that I can bring in. So I think that's probably the no-brainer move to do. And that's probably the one that I'll do. And then what will happen is I'll come back here for the deadline stream later on. And there's going to be nothing. And there's going to be no Arsenal game. Sahil saying Laka vice captain is the safest option in my opinion. I 100% agree with you, Sahil, if we do get news that the Arsenal game is going to be going ahead. You could get Saka. Could I get Saka for that? Now that's an interesting one, to be honest. Yeah, so lots of you are actually saying Saka. Douglas Luiz out for Saka. That could potentially be quite good. Yeah, I actually could do that. Who do you think has the highest ceiling, Saka or Lacazette? Lacazette surely won't be on pens after missing the last one. We're going to go for the cheeky double up in midfield. Could do that, actually. That's actually not a bad shout here from you guys. I then have like a power midfield, though, which isn't great. But I can always just downgrade Adam Armstrong next week. That's actually a move I can do. The only thing I worry about is that I'm going to... So let's just say the game weeks go ahead in the future. Then I'm not going to have a very good kind of team structure. Because I'm going to have a massive benching headache like every single week. But I understand what you... So when I go off here, I'll do some research. And then I will go on and see what happens. That is true, Nanad. I was also looking forward to the Christmas football. The Boxing Day football is always... It just hits different. Like, just watching the entire day after Christmas, after that nice Christmas lunch and everything. Zaid saying Ronaldo tested positive for being the GOAT. He might have been misdiagnosed there. Zaid, maybe someone else has got the wrong diagnosis for him. But in terms of that, guys, I think we got to hold off transfers. If you guys have any questions you want to ask me, you can fire away. I'll give you guys a few minutes to ask whatever. In terms of AFPL, there's not much that I can answer, unfortunately. It's just like a weird scenario on that one. Jared's saying, how long will we be keeping Smith Rowe for? Definitely. Hopefully he enters the starting 11, and then if he keeps his form, he'll play against Norwich if it does go ahead. But I mean, it is what it is. I think I'll come back later on and we can talk about everything FPL related, because I don't want to give you guys advice now and then I come back later on and everything's kind of screwed over. So you can ask anything you want now. Probably 5 minutes I'll stay on. I'll probably stay until about 10 past, and then we can head off, and I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. No worries, Harry. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream, and see you in a bit too. How are you and my family? Family is going well. No one's got COVID as of yet. We got COVID at the beginning of this year, I think, but no one so far has got this new Omicron variant. However, it looks like that variant could be less hospitalizations, but it seems like the spreading of it is quite hectic. How many hits to take? So hits are... as soon as I came into the stream, if I didn't know about the postponement, I would have said I wouldn't use my free hit and I would take hits until a certain point. But now this game's been called off, and I think there's going to be more games called off, because my kind of thinking was, because the Prem came out and said that they're not going to postpone any more games, and that we had a couple of hours before today's fixtures, but now they've shown that they can postpone games a couple of hours before. So we don't even know if the games tomorrow are going to go ahead. So I would probably just stick with my team and then roll on with it. What's the plans for Christmas, Dayvy? So I was going on a cruise, and then the cruise got cancelled because of COVID. So now I'm sad. So that was quite bleak. So my cruise got cancelled. I was going to go for a cruise from after Christmas to just before New Year. So a little bit of a short cruise, wanted a little bit of a break. And we were going to cruise to Mozambique. So if you guys haven't been to Africa or Southern Africa, Mozambique has that Indian Ocean that's like quite a hot temperature. So it's super nice swimming in there. And the weather is usually quite strong. So I was going to go on that, but unfortunately that got canned because of this new variant. So now I'm thinking about just going down to the coast probably for Christmas, or just after Christmas. Probably spend Christmas up here with fam and then go down to the beach a little bit later on. Cheers, Carlo. Enjoy the rest of your day or the rest of your hours until the next stream. Ryan, I didn't know before the stream started, but I did know now. G-Val saying, anyone know Mozambique from Johnny English? So Johnny English, I'm a big fan of. I've always enjoyed watching his movies, but I can't remember a specific Mozambique from there. What do you do besides being an FBL content creator? So I work in data. I work for a data science consulting company. That's my full-time job. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I finished mechanical engineering last year, and I've been working full-time this year. So that's been quite a tough spot to be in, working and also making YouTube videos. Jared saying you must be of Bali. Hell, I am from Gauteng, so you can see my GP number plate there by the coast probably. Jared, are you coming to Cape Town? So I wasn't thinking about Cape Town. I was thinking more Umhlanga regions. I haven't been to KZN in quite a few years, so I'm thinking about going down there rather. 00 saying sorry, late to the party, no transfers as of yet. I'm gonna probably make a transfer a little bit later on. I just want to know that the Lacazette fixture, the Arsenal fixture is going to go ahead. G-Bars, it was Johnny English Reborn. So I've watched that movie quite a few times, so it's a pity that I can't remember it. Kill saying, how old are you? I'm 23 years old. What a shout about Foden and Watkins last week. Thanks, Kieran. Hopefully you did the same transfers. It was a massive week for us. First time in the top 100k in quite a while, so I'm super happy with that. Light Ray saying it's already spread so easily. 100%. It spreads super fast, but it seems like the severity of it, let's say, is a little bit less. Polestar, would you recommend traveling to SA now, or are there too many restrictions? So in terms of restrictions that we have, the only thing we have right now is that you have to wear a mask and you have to. There's a curfew, I think, at 12 p.m. Look, depending on what resort you go to, there might not be a kind of curfew, but I would recommend anyone to come to SA. Like, if you guys are from overseas, it's super cheap for you. And I mean, if you want to go to the Kruger Park, look at wildlife, you can. If you want to go to Cape Town and go to the beach, or KZN, go to the beach. I mean, there's so many possibilities in SA, and I think it's such a nice place to come to if you are foreign, if you know what I'm saying. Ben Jones says, best place to visit in Africa, depending on what you want. I think SA is quite nice because of that versatility, but if you want to go to a place like Kenya, you can go to a wildlife park there. If you want to go to Egypt, I mean, look at the pyramids. There's a lot of places that you can go to in Africa and even in SA. Safa saying, down with Omicron right now, sort of like a cold. So Safa, hopefully you're vaccinated, then it won't be that bad for you. If you're not, I mean, 100% as well, but shame. Hopefully you recover from it. And as Harry's saying, stay safe. And we have you back in a few days, raring to go for all these postponements. Take us through a day in the life of SA. Show us your life. I'm very curious. I live in Norway and guess it's a big difference. So I don't think my day would be that different to like you in terms of kind of waking up, going to work, stopping work, then I record videos, and then I basically just chill. I think it would be more exciting if it was like a day in the life of when I was on holiday or something like that. But otherwise, it's pretty boring. I've been to SA, and Kruger National Park is great. So Zaid, how many of the like big five did you see? I've seen most of them. I've seen a leopard when I was smaller, but leopards are so hard to find. I've really struggled. I was super jelly. One of my friends went down to one of the game parks, not Kruger. There's other parks in SA, and he saw a leopard walking literally right next to him. So I was quite jealous there. Good to hear, Saf. Hopefully you feel quite a lot better in the upcoming days. Kenya shout out 100%. I want to go to Kenya 100%. Okay, so Zaid saying can't remember that much. So 2 and 3, I would be surprised if you could, but at least you say you've been here, you know. What made you first do FPL content? So when I started doing FPL content was the year I finished 22nd, but when I started I was like about 50k, so that was quite interesting to do. I've seen other YouTubers and I thought that I could do the same as them, and that's basically what got me into it. So when I got into FPL, there wasn't too many creators, definitely not kind of the size that some of these bigger channels are at the current moment. But I just thought like I wanted to get into kind of the video making, always liked YouTube, and it was a great kind of a way to enter. Safa, come to PE. Loss, I've been to PE every single year of my life up until about 16, because my family's from PE. Kyle is saying, love this Q&A. I understand. I don't think I answer many questions beside FPL usually. So will there be another deadline video? I'll have to check my timing, because my older sister graduated, so we are taking photos with her. So I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time for that, but I should. It just depends on kind of the restriction, but I definitely will be able to do kind of an update either on Twitter or on YouTube before the deadline, so you have to worry about that. Are you planning to play without strikers this week? I probably will take Watkins to Lacazette just because of that reason. Alexander saying, what a lovely FPL weekend. 100%. What a absolute lovely game week to go ahead. Sabi Gamers was one of the best. 100. I went there a month ago. I went to I went to one of the game reserves. Sarby's nice because they take you like into the bush. Like they don't necessarily have to go on the path. And that's why a lot of people do like it, because if they're like, listen, we've seen a leopard in Q4, they like drive literally through the trees to get there. It's not like you have to navigate on the roads to try to find it. Thoughts on Bernardo Silva? I would keep him. I would buy him with caution. But I do think he trains, so he should be fine. What is your plan? Probably Watkins to Lacazette. That's probably what I'm going to do this week. But otherwise, guys, I think I'm going to head off now. Thanks for... Where's this Terry Stumpy? Not yet today. I had a milkshake when we went for lunch, so I'm more milkshaked out today. But I think I'm going to end this here. I appreciate you guys sticking around, just talking smack and asking me questions. Hopefully no games get postponed from now till that Arsenal game, and we can come back here and we can get a better kind of run going. But otherwise, I think that this has been a very valuable stream. Apologies for having it and not knowing that Aston Villa was postponed. But hopefully you have a good couple hours, and hopefully I'll see you in a short bit. But I'm going to sign off. It's been Dayvy, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.